Our next guest runs Marubeni, which is one of the largest trading houses here in Japan. The company is involved in businesses spanning overseas oil and gas production to food and agriculture. Japanese trading houses have outpaced the broader market since 2020 when Warren Buffett's investment was made public. Joining us exclusively now is Marubeni President and CEO Masayuki Omoto. Masayuki, really good to see you here in the Tokyo studio.
Thank you very much for your time.
No, I mean, and what a great time for you to come on the air with us now that we have this U.S.-China trade deal. I know that as a trading house, you're more focused on businesses in every region, but what are the implications that you've seen so far for your business?
I guess most of our business is, biggest business is in the U.S., and essentially this business is capturing a domestic demand and needs in everyday life of the U.S., such as agri-input, mobility, renewable power supplies. And when U.S. administration decided to impose tariff on April 2nd, we did analyze to what extent we may be impacted by tariff. But the impact is actually very minimal and almost neutral. So I guess so far our sort of operation is pretty much centered around capturing a domestic demand on a self-sustaining operation sort of mode inside the country.
I guess the issue would have been if the U.S. actually went into a recession because of all of these economic and trade wars.
Absolutely. So I said it's a direct impact, but the secondary impact of recession is, of course, of concern. And when we set about budget this year, we set up a certain provision in preparation for.
How much was that?
Well, it's 30 billion Japanese yen, so the profit margin.
Did you have to use any of that?
No.
Yeah.
It's only cautionary sort of a provision in preparation for potential recession that may be happening.
So far, have you seen any slowdown in demand in the U.S.?
Actually not. On the basis of data coming from field, there are almost no impact so far. So this 30 billion sort of Japanese yen provision is just for precautionary sort of provision. And there are actually opportunity coming from this sort of changes. For example, we do a number of used car auto loan businesses in the U.S., and people say that potentially this used equipment or used car, the value thereof may be enhanced because of this tariff operation. We also do aircraft engine and parts refurbishment and so on. The value thereof may also be enhanced. So there will be a plus and minus, and overall we believe that, and we hope there will be a natural sort of hedge across our business portfolio.
It's interesting you talk about the opportunities, and I wonder how agile or how sort of reactive do you have to be given the news flow keeps changing, right? There's a lot of optimism that trade deals now with China, potentially with Japan, will be done. Are you optimistic about the direction of travel at this point?
Well, when the first set of tariff move happened in April, it was we became very cautious and wasn't specific at all. But yesterday news around U.S. and China, tariff deal appears to be putting the world into the direction of a more positive sort of outlook, and therefore I become cautiously optimistic.
What are some of the potential upsides that you could see that perhaps you haven't modelled for if further progress is made?
Certain progress. So as I mentioned, our sort of buffer can be removed, and our businesses, domestic consumption business in the U.S. may be enhanced. We also see potential opportunity in other parts of the world as a result of the changes. For example, we do many businesses in agriculture in Brazil, and it appears that the trading activity between Brazil and the rest of the world appears to be picking up, and therefore there may be additional sort of upside out of the Brazilian agricultural sector.
There are so many different trade flows right now, even in the agricultural sector, and just threats of more tariffs on this sector. How are you calculating that?
Well, we are calculating on the basis of to what extent the commodity price move, and to what extent the resource price moves, and what's our worst case scenario versus a positive case scenario.
And so far, it's actually a positive case.
Yeah, at the moment, on the neutral, or neutral, slightly positive.
What about exposure to China?
Our activity in China is very minimal at the moment. In terms of direct activity and operation in China, so far is very minimum. But as a trading house, because we do natural resources investment, macroeconomic situation in China is a very important sort of implication, and I hope China economy would be stabilized and prosper going forward.
If the environment improves from here, would you care to expand your business in China? Why has it been so small compared to other sectors?
Well, I guess naturally there are no specific reasons why we're not that big, but I guess key for us to be able to do business in China is essential demands, and so long as we are actually able to capture daily food, for example, or essential demand of China, I think it's nice for us to be able to do a business in China. And we have been doing a pharmaceutical distribution business in China, again capturing...
Wait, that sector is also threatened by tariffs right now.
Well, but it's in China. It's in China, and domestically in China, and the relationship between Japan and China, because we're capturing essential demand, I guess this business would be okay.
What about the fact that, as you say, there's a relationship with Japan, right, where you're headquartered, and at the moment we are seeing fluctuations in the Japanese yen. How impactful is that?
So first and foremost, each yen depreciation would a little bit boost our bottom income. Something like 1 yen equates to 1.6 billion Japanese yen. But over the long run, mid and long run, I guess because we deploy so much capital to invest in terms of Japanese yen, we hope to see a more stronger sort of Japanese yen going forward. But 1.6 billion per yen is pretty much impact for this year.
Now, Warren Buffett seems to continue to really like Japanese trading houses, including Marubeni. What sort of conversations of engagements do you have with Berkshire Hathaway, or how do you hope to engage in the future?
We welcome investment from long-term investment from Berkshire Hathaway, and we also wanted to make sure that we would create value not only Berkshire but across all of shareholders. But I guess with respect to our dialogue with Berkshire, we see a good alignment in philosophy of creating long-term value. And as such, we are learning a lot from our conversation with Berkshire, and we hope to be able to have a good collaboration with them in the future.
Masayuki, really good to have you with us here in the Tokyo studio. He's, of course, CEO of Marubeni, Masayuki Omoto, here with us. And, of course, we're talking about Warren Buffett's investment, and he recently revealed what inspired his lucrative bets on Japan's trading houses such as Marubeni. Bloomberg opinion columnist Garode Reedy says the secret has been hiding in plain sight all along. Garode joins us now. So what exactly is that, Garode?